Packers extend Jordan Love to a 4-year, $220 million contract, Shaun, which makes him the highest paid QB in NFL history. Was this the right decision by the Packers? Do you think Jordan Love will I guess is worth the money? What's your initial reaction to this? Big time money, Shaun.
Listen, I am ecstatic for the Jordan Love family, all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the feeling of signing your name to $220 million over the next 4 years? Put this in contrast.
Chills.
When we signed Brad Johnson, it was 5 years, $25 million. This boy just got 4 for $220. My only issue with this is NFL got to figure this out. I'm a big Jordan Love fan. I think he's going to be great. In no world should he ever be signing the largest quarterback contract ever. Not when two-time MVP signed his deal in the last 3-4 months. Not when Joe Burrow signed his deal. Like, come on, man. Like I told you, I guess that's why Jerry still ain't signed Dak. Like, just put it, like, I'm happy for Jordan. I hope he gets every penny. But just think about Jordan Love being the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. Just think about that for a second. That might be the most ludicrous, like, paragraph I've ever read in my life because of that one line.
And just right before him, we saw, Tua had signed, right before that, he signed the largest 4-year deal. I think he's making 53.1, which makes him, he was number 3 at the time. He's number 4 now behind Jordan, Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence as far as annual pay. But prior to this contract, he had signed the largest 4-year deal in NFL history at $212. And to your point, man, I do agree with you. It's like two things can be true, right? I always say that. I'm happy that Jordan Love is getting paid. I'm happy Tua is getting paid. I'm happy all these players are getting paid because at the end of the day, that's the main thing in my opinion. NFL stands for not for long. You need to maximize your payment, change the lives of your family, and keep it pushing, right? But at the same time, it's like these guys are getting paid because of the position they play and not the production they put on the field. It's like, okay, I could be an okay quarterback, and because the market is so slim for good quarterbacks, and because this organization knows that I am better with Tua than I am without him, or I'm better with Jordan Love than I am without him, and there are no really other better options out there, and knowing that other teams would pay him this money as well, you kind of feel like, these teams are kind of handcuffed and they have no choice but to pay these guys the top of the market fee, because if they don't, another team will. And I don't know what the solution is, because if you try to lowball them, they'll just sit out. They'll miss, and then they'll get traded or whatever, and another team will. Unless all the owners can come together, and I don't think this is legal, but unless all the owners come together and say, hey, we're changing the market together. We're all agreeing that we're not paying quarterbacks this amount of money. Unless that happens, I don't see how this can change, JB.
And I don't have a problem with them paying quarterbacks this amount of money. It's the fact that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Right.
The way it's going, you just got to be up for a new contract.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to be like one of the top guys. Your contract just got to be up.
Hey, Shaun, hey, as long as you're a starter and just make it to that end of that rookie deal, you're getting paid. This is what it is. Yeah. JB, what's your thoughts, though?
Look, I wouldn't have paid him that money right now, but I don't disagree either. I mean, it is what it is. This is the market. Like, we've been talking about this for months. I mean, it is what it is. I would have loved to see him play one more year on a prove-it deal, but listen, it is what it is. I just hope he doesn't get hurt, knock on wood. I would never wish that on my worst enemy. And then I would love to see him show me another consistent year. He just played 1 year, fella. Let's not act like he's Aaron Rodgers. So, listen, it is what it is. Aaron even shouted him out, highest paid player. 1 year playing, and you're the highest paid player ever, Shaun.
But JB, even if he came back and threw for 4,000 and 30-plus touchdowns again, to be the highest paid quarterback ever, think about that. We're talking about more than Peyton, Brady, Breeze, more than current guys, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Like, we're talking about ever. Like, that's a ludicrous market the NFL got going on at quarterback.
You know what's even more ludicrous, right? To me, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. All you can do is talk about it and talk about it post history, post fact. Dan Marino made $51 million in his career. This dude, Tua, just made $212 million and hasn't even busted a grape in a fruit fight yet. Imagine the slap on Dan Marino's face for being that great. But it is what it is. This is the time we're in. Like 51 million, Smitty, and that's with isotoner, Shaun, isotoner gloves and everything. The Christmas commercials, and we used to love Dan Marino isotoner commercials. You guys are too young for that. This motherfucker just made $212 and can't get the ball to Tyreek Hill over the fucking safety. And we're talking about paying a guy that much money. So that, to Shaun's point, the reason I said that is just it's ludicrous market we're in.
I guess my thing is though, but is it really a slap in the face to the OGs? At the end of the day, the money at the time, the money that Dan Marino was making was crazy at that time. That was the bag at that time. With inflation, I mean, you get a bag of chips for 25 cents. When you put everything into it, he was making crazy money at that time. This money wasn't even an option at that time. So you can look down, but oh my, that's not fair. Well, it's what it, because any sport, baseball, they're making way more now. They're making Ohtani signed for $500 million, I think. Then, if I'm not mistaken, $500 million. So I mean, every sport they're making more money.
Hey, when did chips get so expensive? Man, I went to the grocery store the other day. And a bag of chips down to $5. I was like, what the
for the real big bag? They used to be $2.50 or something. Big bag. Now they $5-6. I
was like, God.
Hey, Smitty, to your question though, two things can be true. They can still feel that as a slap in their face. Why not? Why can't they? I mean, Tua arguably will never be on Dan Marino's level. I think all three of us could argue that right now.
Yes, sir. So
he could feel slighted, right? He has the right.
But I guess.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying he can feel slighted.
Sure, you can feel whatever your emotions are your emotions, right? I just feel like saying I feel slighted, that word in particular, to me is a word to where like you feel like you were done wrong, like somebody did something wrong against you. To me, I don't think this is the example of that. This is just an example of the NFL is making more money. There's bigger TV contract deals. The inflation is higher, so the dollar isn't worth the same. Which means you have to pay more, and the market just continues to increase. As the NFL makes more money, there's the salary cap goes up. There's more money to spend. I don't think it's like a slight like you might feel jealous. Maybe that's a word. You might have an envious feeling, but feeling like slighted is like I feel like I was done wrong. Like you know what I mean?
Hey,
I agree. I hear you. I hear you. Hey, Shaun.
No chips, you're right. Them bags half empty, too. The price still went up.
Half air, ain't it?
Hey, Shaun, let me ask you a question. Former NFL quarterback that Shaun Salisbury's going to come on the show tomorrow. I hung out with him. He's about 30 minutes away from me right now out here on vacation in Palm Springs. Him and his girl and their dogs. He's going to come on the show in the morning. He's undefeated versus John Elway in his career as a starter for the Vikings. He beat John Elway twice. He beat him in college, USC, Stanford. He's undefeated versus John Elway. We talk about this all the time on the show. But Shaun, and we were talking about this and wanted to ask you this, and Shaun even said, bring it up with you. Do you see the ex-player more spiteful, not because the bag? I don't believe anybody. Sean King, Shaun Salisbury, Jim McMahon. Nobody's hating on these cats getting paid. But do you think that they're spiteful for the fact the rules have changed so much along with the bag that they took all this life-changing hits into the face, into the chest, into the rules being changed to where they're catering to the Q? And then we watch the film, and the Q can't throw a fucking hitch ball on time, and he's not even getting hit. Like, that is where Shaun Salisbury and the OG cats are really looking at it like, these cats getting this money, and they don't even have to deal with shit we dealt with. Like, that is the question I have for you and Shaun Salisbury's question to you.
I mean, all the guys I talked to just look at it like, hey, man, our parents got together a little too quick. They could have waited about a decade. Man, you know.
Because to your point,
it is. I don't think the respect level is the same.
That's what his point was.
These young guys, like you should be doing that, buddy. I mean, everything is in your favor now. You should be doing that. So,
and we got the lowest production in the highest fucking favorable situation for QBs.
yeah.
Make it make sense. Like, it don't make sense. You got the lowest production, lowest statistics offensively, quarterback wise. We were breaking this. We watched this. How many weeks, Smitty, last year, your first year on the show during the football season, where we sitting here like, God damn, the offense is horrific. We talked about it every week.
I think last year was a little bit of an anomaly, in my opinion. I know you disagree, but I think last year was an anomaly. I don't think we're going to see that this year. We didn't see it the year prior to that. Last year was really bad. I don't know what. Last year was just weird. Like, every quarterback just was not good football across the board. I don't see that happening this year. We'll see here in a few weeks. But yeah, I mean, I don't look at production being overall dropped though, because we often come on here and talk about how you believe numbers are inflated because of the rules and because of this and that. But then we're also saying production is low. So I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't know the solution behind the quarterback specifically. But in general, money's going to continue to go up next year. Look, Jordan Love won't be the highest paid, ever. It'll be somebody else. It'll be Dak now. It'll be whoever the next guy is who's owed money. And it's just going to continue to do that. At some point, years ago, Jimmy G was the highest paid for a little bit. Like, it just – every year it goes up, and we'll look at this contract, and this contract won't mean anything. We look at Mahomes' contract like, damn, the Chiefs got a deal. The Chiefs got a deal now because he getting paid, 40-something a year, I think. So, like,
he's on a 10-year deal. He's on a 10-year deal, though.
Right, I get it. I'm just saying, but I'm saying that's how we do contracts. So right now we're like, oh my God, Jordan Love. But in 2 years, Jordan Love would be like number 8 on the list.
But to me, the shock value is not the amount of the contracts; it's the name of who's getting them. It's the only position where the player does not really matter. They're just paying the position. At receiver, only the top guys get the biggest deals. At running back, nobody's getting paid. At O-line, only the multi-year Pro Bowlers get the max, it's the only position where the player don't really matter. All you got to be is play quarterback and have your contract up, and you're getting 180 plus.